that meme, the worst person you know, just made a great point. So, look, James Carville has a vested interest in defending Joe Biden. This is his kind of guy. This is the kind of centrist Democrat that Carville believes is the only way to win. But he decided to, when speaking with Brian Williams, call out a bit of the media coverage about Biden's Afghanistan withdrawal. Let's take a listen to the first clip of this, and then there's a bit of a back and forth.
Vote.
Well, first of all, there's no elegant way to lose a war. We lost this war 15 years ago. All Joe Biden was doing is telling us what time it is. And the hysterical and stupid coverage of the mainstream press, it's been awful. Just read New York.
It's been awful. Let's watch the next part. This was divided up. But yeah, I mean, I was like, whoa.
It was lost 40 years ago, but yeah.
Yeah, well, that too. But I mean, he's right. He's right. The war was lost years and years ago, and the mainstream coverage and the hysteria behind it, he's absolutely accurate. I mean,
there's no reason we should expect a good withdrawal from a bloody and brutal and pointless occupation, like this, and dishonorable one. Like, you can't save that with the exit. You can't stick the landing after just. It's like hitting the tramp, like when you're diving off a diving board and you hit your head and like feet on the diving board and like hit the side of the pool, and then like, but the water, you hit the water.
Yeah, you didn't actually do the pose that you were supposed to do to get a 10 out of 10 on the dive. Like, no, dude, we're already bleeding from our head. We're not going to be able to win the competition at this point.
Right.
So let's hear what else Carville has to say on MSNBC.
I asked Claire, does Biden need more friends and more vocal friends in Washington to point all this out?
Well, first of all, it would be greatly benefited if the press would cover this accurately. And yes, you always have mealy-mouthed Democrats. And I can't tell you the number of phone conversations. I said, well, James, I mean, damn, man, you did the right thing by getting out, but it's going about it the wrong way. And I've said, do they teach a course at West Point or Annapolis or Johns Hopkins on how to lose a war? No. There's no good way to lose a war. We lost this war. We lost it a long time before Joe Biden became president. All he's doing is getting us out of there. And I'm sorry, this is not the Battle of Midway, all right? This is a defeat. And we got to understand that as a country. Of course, we plowed right into this after we did Vietnam, after we did Iraq. Warren Buffett said the only thing people learn from history, people never learn from history. I hope that some of these images will cause us to take a deep breath before we go off on some other Wall Street Journal-sponsored adventure around the world.
I mean, what? I am shocked at every word I hear coming out of his mouth. Never expect him to make this point, but it's not just like, the problem isn't losing the war. The problem is war. The problem is imperialism. The problem is United States complete arrogance and bloodthirstiness and capitalistic ambitions that extend beyond the bounds of reality and beyond the bounds of humanity. Like, that is the true problem. And Carville would have no issue with any war that at the outset he found was just. But he's accurate that the blame does not fall on Biden, right? You can't expect a withdrawal from a bloody conflict. Like, no adequate coverage about the brutality in those 20 years, right? They downplaying it for the patriotic goals of the United States, not covering what we were doing there in terms of torture, and of course with Iraq it was 100 times worse. Not focusing on the crux of what this actually was, only focusing on and having humanitarian concern for the consequences of the withdrawal. No humanitarian concern before. So it really is completely contrived. And Carville is right. I never thought I'd say this again. We should pull up that meme of the worst person you know made the best point. Not actually, but that's what we had here. And I think it's important to have that context. This really is actually because of this manufactured outrage directed towards Biden by the media. This is hurting his poll numbers right now. And in conversations with people in my life, you know, who like Biden, right? Normie Dems, I don't like how he's handling this. Well, do you have a different solution in how this would be handled? No, but
yeah, I mean,
I don't like it.
Ben Shapiro says what if we just left a whole bunch and just so the reason that we couldn't start this withdrawal and you know air vacuum people out earlier is because it would have started then, right? It's like that's what happens. Like the Pentagon actually studied this stuff.
Right. That's when the withdrawal would have begun.
And if you look at all these things, second guessing it, there's not a good alternative solution that doesn't have its own severe problems. Because, as Carville said, there's no good way to lose a war, which we lost. We lost this one.
Folks, there's more of what you've just saw where that came from. That's if you hit the subscribe and like button. Thank you. Really, thank you.